hope I'm audible and visible to all of you. If I'm audible and visible, do post it in the comment section that everything is awesome, and we will start our Hindu analysis of 8th September 2025. From today onwards, as we have discussed earlier, we'll be doing it at 7:30 a.m. The aim is one day we'll be doing it from 7 a.m. But let's see when that particular one day arrives. So good morning, Shiparna. Good morning, Anandu. Hope I'm audible and visible. Cool. I can hear myself. If you face any issues, feel free to post it in the comment section. So let's start. So today is 8th September 2025, and my name is Shubham Sagar. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. Yesterday, that means on Saturday, I gave you two questions, 100% audible and visible. Very good. I give you two questions. This is MCQ 12 and 13, like 11, like what? 11 questions for classwork and 2 were homework. So what is the answer of MCQ 12? Good morning, Rishi. So what is the answer of MCQ 12? IMEC launched during G20 summit aims to connect. I think Shipurna gave the answer that day only, but still, let's do it. Let's do the revision fast. What is the answer of MCQ 12? Very good, Rishi. Shipurna Vishwas. So in our time, there used to be a show which was known as Shaktiman, and there was a girl known as Geeta Bishwas. She looked same as Shipurna. So India, Middle East, and Europe A is the answer. IMEC. Now see here this particular question. In this particular question, there is another question which is hidden. See, they can even ask you this IMEC was launched during which particular summit, where it was launched, which particular year. So do keep in mind these small facts as well. Very good. MCQ 13, what is the answer of this particular question? Which of the following best describes the relationship between CPCB and SPCBs? Now I have decided one thing. Every day I will start sharp at 7:30 a.m. No 1 minute, 2 minute time lag, sharp. We should not be delaying it, So yes, sir. What is the answer of this particular question? Which of the following best describes the relationship between CPCB and SPCBs? Again, we have discussed about Central Pollution Control Board, State Pollution Control Board in Saturday's Hindu first editorial. It was we had talked about. We have discussed 3 editorials on Saturday, which was a record. So good morning, Sachin. Sachin. So CPCB set national standard while SPCB implement them at state level. We have talked about how CPCB is a statutory body created under Water Act of 1974, Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act. I've also told you these acts are very important. You have to remember them chronologically: WPA Act, Water Act, Air Act, Environmental Protection Act. They can ask you to arrange them in chronological order. They have already asked it in multiple exams. So 12A, 13A, very good. Now let's come back to the present and let's talk about the first article of the day, which is there on page number 6, a complex turn in India's FDI story. Again, it has been written by Amar Bahadur Yadav sir, who is an assistant professor in Delhi University. Now here the things which are very important is FDI, FII. If you people are serious UPSC aspirant, I don't need to tell you how important these two terms are. How many times UPSC has already asked questions on FDI and FII. So very important, right? Then what are the other things? Gross FDI. What is gross FDI? What is net FDI? Then what else? Then there are other terms. Outward FDI. What do these terms mean? And what is the author talking about here? What is his concern here? So basically he is talking about, and okay. Yeah, well, it's fine. So here he will talk about certain terms that India's gross FDI is awesome. So gross FDI means the investment which has been done by foreign investors from outside India, and we'll talk about the difference between FDI and FII. So that is good. But our net FDI is a sign to worry about. Now, what is the difference between gross FDI and net FDI? So let's say foreign investors, they have sent their money, Amazon, etc. They're investing money in India. Then what will happen? They also have something like disinvestment. Let's say Amazon disinvested certain portion of their, headquarters in Hyderabad or something. They sold some portion. So this is disinvestment. Then there is something called as repatriation. Repatriation means they are earning some profit, they are earning some dividend, and then again, what they are doing is they are sending a portion of this profit and dividend to their home country. So when you are subtracting disinvestment, repatriation, etc., from a gross FDI, that is net FDI. The author is saying in this editorial that India's net FDI is a sign to worry about. A lot of money, a lot of investment, and is being pulled out from India, and we have to think about it, why this whole thing is happening. So our net FDI is decreasing, our outward FDI is increasing. Again, all these terms are very, very important. We should know about these terms, because they're very important from exam perspective. So let's talk about it. So here they're talking about 1991 LPG reforms, liberalization, privatization, globalization. After that, FDI increased in India. Now, how FDI is different from FII, foreign institutional investment or foreign portfolio investment? So FDI is not only about investment in stock or bonds, etc. That is FII. FDI is, like, let's say Amazon, they set up their establishment in Hyderabad, they invested in science and tech and all. So FDI is a long term investment, and it is catering to specific sector. Do remember, it's not like you will have FDI every sector. It is catering to specific sector, but it is a long term investment. On the other hand, FII is very volatile, and they can invest in any stock, any bond. So it's catering to any sector, but it's very volatile. It is also known as hot money. Hot money, oh my god. So it's a hot money. So do remember these terms, and we'll talk about some most aspects. So what is this editorial talking about? FDI inflows. It is peaking. Gross inflow, we have talked about the difference between gross FDI and net FDI. So gross FDI $81 billion, awesome. But when you subtract disinvestment and repatriation from gross FDI, you get something known as net FDI. We have just discussed what is the basic difference between gross FDI and net FDI. So this is the money which is actually being used in India after disinvestment and repatriation has been done. So gross inflow 308.5 million. You don't have to remember these data, just have a look at this. So it's good, but then withdrawal happened, and in 24-25 fiscal year, our net FDI was only $0.4 billion. So there is enormous amount of money which is being taken out from India in the form of disinvestment and repatriation, which we have to think, why are they, like, investors not very happy about the things which are happening in India, policy uncertainty, this and that. So we have to take into account why so much disinvestment and repatriation is happening, why our net FDI is so low. So again, shift in investment behavior. Earlier long-term strategic investment, you can see here. Now short-term profit driven inflows. And manufacturing sector, see, FDI sector, FDI money, long-term investment in specific sector. In those specific sector also, manufacturing sector, we need FDI here. If you're investing money in, let's say, hospitality sector, that is not going to generate or have multiplier effect. But when we have, let's say, FDI in manufacturing sector, it will have a multiplier effect. It will increase employment in the longer run. That is not happening. You can see here, manufacturing share in FDI declined to 12%. So even though whatever gross FDI also we are getting, that is confined to these sectors, finance, energy, especially hospitality, where we don't have enough multiplier effect. Hope you're understanding what is the basic meaning of multiplier effect here. And we need FDI in manufacturing sector, which is also declining. Our gross FDI is okay, but our net FDI is declining because of increase in disinvestment and repatriation. Then the other term, outward FDI. What is outward FDI? We Indians, how much we are investing in like abroad companies, or let's say SBI, they are setting up their factory outside India in Africa or USA. So that is outward FDI. So you see two worrying trends here. Net FDI decreasing, outward FDI increasing. Again, not good. If our people, they are investing more money abroad, maybe they are lacking a trust in our own sector. So that's why even outward FDI has increased. So hope you are understanding from economic perspective what we are talking about and why these things are happening. Maybe because of Gurgaon, it becomes a flood prone region, or I don't know, it becomes like a river and all. So infrastructure gap is there, unpredictable policies. Suddenly we have just GST 5 and 18%. It's awesome. But should we do it so suddenly? All of a sudden things happen in India. Maybe because of this, these two things are happening. Net FDI is decreasing, outward FDI is increasing, and we have to pay attention to all these things. So again, they are talking about why all these things are happening and what will be the implication. Declining FDI net inflows reduces long-term growth, weakens job creation. So policy makers, they have to pay attention. Sir, can you please repeat multiplier effect? Multiplier effect means, Shipurna, that when we are investing in manufacturing, more and more people are employed in manufacturing. But when you talk about services sector, there, when we talk about IT sector, AI, etc., they are involved. So employment will not be created that much. But when let's say there is more FDI in manufacturing sector, there will be more employment, and that is the multiplier effect. More, purchasing power with people, they will buy more goods and services, which will lead to more increase in GDP. So that is the multiplier effect. So more investment in manufacturing leads to more job growth. And this is not the same with everything, hospitality, etc., where you have more AI involved. Hope you understood what we are discussing here. When it comes to multiplier effect, okay. So hope you are understanding the keywords associated with this editorial: net FDI, outward FDI, FDI and FII, how they are different from each other. Even though gross FDI looks healthy, but rising disinvestment and repatriation and outward flows, it shows that our investors, they are still not very confident about Indian economy. Although we are in Amrit Kahal, but still we have to do a lot of stuff. Cool. So this is the basic difference between FDI and FII, which we have just discussed. FDI is long-term investment, FII is short-term investment. FII people, they are generally investing in secondary market. Again, there are some terms which we have to understand. Primary market, secondary market. UPSC loves to ask questions on FDI and FII. So what is a primary market? Primary market basically means when government wants some money, IPO, when companies want some money, their securities and bonds, government or companies, primary market. But let's say I bought that particular security and bond from government and company, and I started buying, means selling it among investors. So there I will go to a different stock exchange, NSE, BSE. This is secondary market where investors are selling among themselves. So FI, FPI, they are very, a lot active in secondary market. Again, none of our concern, just keep it in mind. So FDI, FII, do remember FDI is catering to specific sectors. It's not for all sector, because this is long-term investment and they are focused on specific sectors, as we have discussed: manufacturing, services, etc. So you can see all these things. It is less volatile. FI, FPI, hot money, as we have discussed. Have a look at this. And exit is difficult. Amazon, if they are in Hyderabad, they cannot leave all of a sudden. But FI, FPI, they can anyway, anytime sell their stock and bonds and leave the country and leave the investment. Have a look at these questions. MCQ 1. So consider the following differences between FDI and FII. FDI is generally long-term and involves managerial control, or you always use option elimination. When you're solving these kind of questions, always try to do option elimination. So Anandu and Rishi, they have given the answer. FDI is generally long-term and involves managerial control. FII is short-term and portfolio based. Correct. FDI inflows are more stable compared to FII. Correct. So 1 and 2 has to be the answer. So eliminate. Okay. So eliminate options which does not have 1 and 2. Now you're left with A and D. FII directly creates an employment industrial capacity, while FDI mainly provides liquidity to markets. No, this is actually opposite. FDI will create employment and industrial capacity. FII will mainly provide liquidity. So the answer is A. 1 and 2 only, as stated by Anandu, Rishi and Shripurna. This is PYQ 2, asked by UPSC in 2011, related to FDI and FII. And this is your homework also. Solve as many PYQs as possible on FDI, which has been asked by UPSC, and that has been multiple PYQs. Cool. So both FDI and FII are related to investment in a country. Which one of the following statements best describes an important difference between the two? Use option elimination, that will help you in arriving at the answer. So FII help brings better management skills and technology. FDI only brings capital. We know this is exact opposite. Whenever they give only etc., very high chance. FII helps in increasing capital availability in general, while FDI only targets specific sector. We have talked about it. Keep it in the loop. FDI flows only into the secondary market. FII targets primary market. We have just discussed FDI primary market, FII secondary market. FI is considered to be more stable. This is also wrong. So maybe you are confused between B and C. But we have just discussed FDI, because it is for long term, they cannot target all sectors. You know, they are targeting specific sectors in manufacturing, services, etc. And they are investing long term. FII helps increasing capital availability because they are mainly about capital availability, but FDI is more about technology investment, capital investment. You know, they come with everything involved. It's not only about capital. So the answer is B, as stated by Anandu, Rishi, and Shipurna. Very good. Let's move to the next article of the day. Page 8, India China, the inability to define a border. On Friday, this is a three-parter. This article which you're seeing in front of you, this is a three-parter. Friday, we have done the first part of this article series. In that first part, we have talked about India-China relationship, and what we have talked about, how Manchu Empire and British Empire, they were not able to define the border clearly, which led to border tussle in 1950s over the region known as Askai Chin. We have had a discussion on Friday, Ashkai-Chin region, because it connects Tibet region with the Xinjiang region of China. So it was strategically very important for China, and they occupied it in 1950s. And then they were like, we will accept India occupying Arunachal in return for us occupying Ashkai-Chin. We rejected that. Then because we wanted to recapture Ashkai-Chin region, 1962 Sino-India War happened, and then the issues oscillated. In 1970s, Sikkim became a part of India. China did not like it, but we made it a part of India. Earlier, it was a protectorate. We have talked about Sikkim earlier also. So there was a to and fro debate and discussion which was going on. After this 1962 Sino-India War, the talks on LAC started, line of actual control. So they both have, first of all, before I tell you the second part, you can have a look at that first part. Again, these are all independent articles, so it's not an issue. So after 1962 Sino-India War, these two people, they started having, good morning Shibarna, Madhubala rather, so they started talking about this line of actual control, LAC. So it has three parts, this line of actual control. This is the western part of LAC, this Ladakh area and the Skychin area. This is the central part of LAC, which includes Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, and this is the eastern part of Ashkai, means LAC, which includes Sikkim as well as Arunachal. So hope you understand. And Tawang is a hotspot area. According to Chinese people and China, this Arunachal Pradesh is southern Tibet. Cool. So western, central, and eastern LAC. In that, central LAC is more or less settled. They don't have much debate on Himachal and Uttarakhand region except for some areas, but the western and the eastern front is open, especially the western front. In eastern front also they want Tawang. They love Tawang. China wants Tawang. But the western front is a very, very disputed region. Please remember this LAC thing which you are seeing, it was formalized in early 1990s, and that's what the second part is all about. The second editorial, it is talking about this whole issue, this LAC, line of actual control, which we are talking about. It was formalized in 1990s, early 1990s. Before that, there was no such thing. It is not internationally recognized. Not internationally recognized. Even here, even between India and China, there is a dispute between what is LAC. Unlike LOC, you have line of control between India and Pakistan. In 1972 Shimla Agreement, it was somewhat settled. What is LOC? Line of control. All these are de facto border. These LOC and LAC, they are de facto border. What is the basic meaning of de facto border? That means they are recognized between two countries. These are not international boundaries, because Pakistan has occupied some portion of Kashmir. So we have LOC, international boundary, something else altogether. But unlike LAC, LOC is somewhat settled by 1972 Simla Agreement. LAC is not yet settled between India and China, and it varies. You know, like the kilometers of LAC varies. China says something else, India says something, and because of this, all these disputes happen. So hope you understood some aspect of this LAC thing. Now let's see the second part of the three-part relationship between India and China and border issues. Very important. Why important? From both post-independent India and from GS means paper to international relation perspective. So let's have a look at this particular article. So they are saying we have done from 1940 to 1980. We have done this in the first parter on Friday. So this is the second parter. So, and I have just told you what was there in the first part. Good morning. The second part, they are talking about how the relationship oscillated between India and China. China kept on telling that accept Askai Chin as part of China, we will accept Arunachal as part of you, but we were not budging on that. Then in 90 and from 1962 onwards, the talk started of LAC, line of actual control, and that was formalized in this 1992-93 grouping. You can see here there was a BPTA agreement. You don't have to do PhD here. You just remember the chronology part. Like we keep on talking about LAC, line of actual control, and many people are like they don't know when it was actually formalized. This is for you people to understand. Then LAC, different parts of LAC, which is more contentious. Is it a natural boundary? No, it is a de facto border, as we have just discussed. But again, unlike India Pakistan LOC, it is not settled. So again, first official reference, they can ask you that, the first official reference, it was formalized when? And many people will be like, if they don't know it, they'll be like, it was formalized in 60s. No, it was formalized almost 30 years after first Sino-India war. So Article 1, then there are different articles where they're talking about good things. We don't need to do PhD here. You can have a look at this, maintain minimal forces, blah, 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 large scale military exercises will be, and it was expanded in different arguments, like agreements rather, this LAC part. But again, this is none of our concern. The thing which is of our concern is what are the different parts of LAC. It is a de facto border, which are the more contentious region. The Western Front is the most contentious of them all. And it's central region, which states it includes? Central Himachal, Uttarakhand, and then the eastern LAC, Sikkim is included. Sometimes you may feel like only Arunachal is included. Sikkim is also included. And then in the western part, Ladakh and Askai Chin both are included. And they have still debates about what is the actual LOC. Problems of defining the LOC. Maps exchange for central sector. When they're talking about central sector, they're talking about Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. This is less disputed, more or less settled. Maps exchange for western sector, here they're talking about Ladakh and Askai Chin, but it was rejected. They don't have conformity. Disagreements remain at Pangong, so blah blah blah. Have a look at this. And lack now, as we have just discussed, they can ask you in mains the difference between LOC and LAC. Both are de facto, they are not international boundaries, but unlike LOC, LAC is more contentious, more disputed, although we still have battles with both India and like both Pakistan and China. So lack of a mutually accepted definition of LAC, unlike LOC, where the border is defined, but we still fight. In the case of LAC, the border is not defined. That's why we keep on fighting with China. So this is the difference between LAC and LOC. Please remember it. These are both de facto border. These are not international boundaries. But LOC has been mutually agreed. We know India and Pakistan, they both know what is the border, like what is LOC. It is not the border. What is LOC? Where, Pakistan starts and India ends and all these things. But it is not mutually agreed LAC. Some, one country says LAC is 3,400 kilometer, other says 2,000 kilometer, unlike LOC. Not demarcated on maps, delineated and mapped. So please remember these points, they are important. Let's solve some questions so that you can remember stuff. So this is MCQ 3 based on previous article, the first article which we have done today. And yes, do have a look at Friday's Hindu analysis for the first part of that India-China relationship thing. So in the context of foreign investment, repatriation refers to. So Madhubala, Shipurna, Rishi, they have given the answer. What is repatriation? We were talking about gross FDI, we were talking about net FDI, and then we have discussed that gross FDI minus repatriation minus disinvestment will give you net FDI. So withdrawal of profits, dividends or capital by foreign investors back to their home country B is the answer. MCQ 4. Which of the following correctly describes line of actual control? Very good, Madhubala, Shipurna, Rishi, Mamta and Anandu. So here MCQ4, which of the following correctly describes? It is the international boundary recognized by both India and China, a mutually agreed boundary established by 1972 Shimla Agreement, the de facto military boundary between India and China with differing perceptions of alignment, a demarcated and map boundary monitored by UN. So Shiparna Anandu. So it is not the international boundary. I'm just telling you, it is a boundary. It's a de facto boundary, and both India and China they have differing perception. So the answer is C. B is about which boundary we are talking about. Can anybody tell it in the comment section? B, a mutually agreed boundary established by 1972 Shimla Agreement. What is this? Rishi, revise it. Good morning, Ankit sir. So what we are discussing here, that line of this is not an international boundary. Both LAC and LOC they're de facto borders. LAC or LOC rather, it's more or less settled between India and Pakistan. LAC is not. So yeah, cool. So let's move on, and the answer is C. MCQ5. Consider the following pairs of India-China border sector: Western sector, middle sector, and Eastern sector. How many pairs are correctly matched? So yes, sir. Yes, 7:30 now, Jivan, from today onwards. No issues, Rishi. So Anandu and Madhubala, they have given the answer. So Western sector, yes, Ladakh and Askaichin of LAC. You know, middle sector, Himachal and Uttarakhand more or less settled. Eastern sector, Arunachal as well as Sikkim. So all three are correctly matched, and the answer is C. Very good. Now again, if you like this video, like it, share it, subscribe it, spread it far and wide. You can buy these Hindu analysis PDF at 199 per month, and thereby you can support me. And again, I have introduced this thing. I was getting lots of queries on LinkedIn regarding that, sir, I'm preparing for IPACIO, I'm preparing for EPFO, I have these MCQ doubts, I have these doubts in test series, this and that. So you have any doubts, collect all your doubts, send me these doubts at 96, you know the number, 9650303257. We'll schedule a Zoom session or Google Meet, and based on anything under the sun. I'm saying UPSC, but any exam you're preparing for, I have knowledge. You people know it. I just don't want to do pomp and show. But yes, collect doubts at least of 1 hour, because you people will be paying for it, because our time and your time is also precious. It is rupees 500 per hour. So if you have any doubts, collect all your doubts, ensure it is at least of 1 hour, and we'll schedule a Zoom session or Google Meet, because I'm getting those queries. So doubt session, I have introduced one thing. And again, you can be a part of my mentorship program. One more thing I have done in this mentorship program is I have included unlimited doubt sessions. So this is 4999. This is one-time payment. So here you can take as many doubt sessions as needed. It's not, it's free here. Hope you're understanding. Hindu analysis PDF, unlimited PDFs are free here. So let's say I take a hypothetical scenario. If you take 10 doubt sessions of me of 1 hour, after that, all the doubt sessions, all Hindu PDF, everything will be free for you. So you can go for this mentorship program. I think that will help you. Cool, sir. So yeah, that's why Kareena Kapoor is saying move, because things will become free in mentorship. You will have to pay a higher amount initially, but in the longer run, that will be more profitable for you, I guess. And what is mentorship program in one line? I'm all yours. Right now, you people have my number, but you people feel like whether to call or message me or not. After mentorship, you can call or message me anytime, and we'll fix the time and we will address the doubts. Then there is another query which many people have about switching. They are like, sir, you are introducing new thing every day in mentorship program. Let's say I have taken Hindu analysis PDF and I want to switch to mentorship program. So it's not like rocket science. So let's say you have taken Hindu analysis, subscription from me, and you have paid 3 months money. Let's say you have paid 600 rupees, and Hindu at this mentorship is at 4999. So you can pay the remaining amount 43, like whatever it is, 4399. Oh my god, my CSAC, and you will be a part of mentorship. You don't need to pay for Hindu analysis, means monthly then, or doubt sessions. You don't have to pay for anything. So that's how you will do the switching part. Let's come back to the articles. You can also donate. So let's come back to the article. And this is the third article of the day. Encroachments, climate change may have led to Punjab worst flood in decades. So important from both environment perspective as well as the geographical perspective. This is one of the worst flood, if not the worst flood Punjab has encountered in last 40-50 years. And they have given different points. They have talked about different things here. And what different things they have talked about. So here they have talked about warming of Arabian Ocean, Arabian Sea, warming of Arabian Sea, and they are saying that because of the increased warming of Arabian Sea, Punjab is encountering more floods. More Arabians. Like if you have seen, if you know the phenomena how monsoon occurs, so you have southwest monsoon winds. It is coming from Arabian Sea. So more warm it is, more winds will be coming from Arabian Sea, from water to land. More moisture will be there, and more rainfall will happen, which is happening in Punjab. So warming of Arabian Sea, and then this whole climate change. It has led to too much fluctuation. It has led to too much, Himachal and Uttarakhand floods are happening there. Punjab is also getting impacted by it. So there are multiple reasons. Global warming, climate change is also one of them. Warming of Arabian Sea. Do keep it in mind. They can ask you and they can give you in points that warming of Arabian Sea has led to Punjab worst flood. This is one of the reasons. They can also tell you that increase in winter rainfall, because they do get winter rainfall because of westerlies and western disturbances. I hope you have heard about it in geography. So again, you can see here. But increase in winter rainfall will not lead to worse flood in summer. So that is a wrong assessment. Winter rainfall increase is not leading to these floods. That's a different matter altogether. So that's how you eliminate option, and hope you're understanding where we are going with this. So let's talk about this article. And 4 lakh people has been impacted, blah blah blah. You can have a look at this. This is not blah blah and blah. We have full sympathies. We are with our Punjabi friends. I was in Chandigarh and Panchkula and Tri-City, but we are focusing on the important parts. The numbers are not that important, although it's harrowing to say the least. What are the causes? This is important from both pre as well as mains perspective, and this is important not only from Punjab perspective. Even in GS mains paper 3, you read about disaster management. So from that perspective also it is important. GS2 geography. So from that regard, heavy monsoon rains, overflowing rivers, man-made factors. So in GS1 you read about urbanization, haphazard urbanization. That also leads to these urban floods, blocked drainage system, encroachment, hydropower dam mismanagement. They are releasing water. That also leads to these floods. So it's not like this is a one-time occurrence. It has happened earlier, but the intensity of this particular flood is much larger, and rainfall is becoming inconsistent. Arabian Sea warming. Remember this linked to heavy monsoon rain, and now Punjab has to be ready for these kind of new normal. This warming of Arabian Sea, it's not going to go back. It will happen every summer, and Punjab has to create machinery. Then there are people who say that irregular mining, because of which lots of heating happen, because of which lots of convection happen, because of which rainfall happens. So irregular or illegal mining has also contributed to increased rainfall, and that is one point which is political in nature. So you have to understand both the political factor, climatic factor, geographical factor, environmental factor, and all these things. Just remember warming of Arabian Sea, that is an important point. And expert opinion, what people are talking about, why these floods happen, unscientific construction. So this haphazard urbanization of GS mains paper 1, that is one point which you have to keep in mind. Haphazard urbanization. Then again, global warming, Arabian Sea, that is one other point which you have to keep in mind. Rainfall pattern change. So these are the points which you have to keep in mind, and then the other factors you can talk about. Cool, sir. Let's talk about MCQ 6 of the day based on previous article. So which of the following correctly differentiate between LOC and LAC? Everyone selected UPSC. He already knows because disaster management for UPSC. But what is the reason for you? What is your opinion, sir? We have just discussed the opinion, Rishi, that the increased warming of Arabian Sea, haphazard urbanization. It's not like one of a any unique reason will pop up all of a sudden. The things which are happening in other regions, the floods, the reason because of which these floods are happening, same similar kind of reasons are existing for Punjab also. But some things have changed, like warming of Arabian Sea. Some things are still the same, which happens in other reasons, like haphazard urbanization, illegal mining, etc., climate change, etc. So there are some unique factors, and then there are some common factors. So Madhubala, Shriparna, Rishi, Anandu, Jivayan, and Mamta, they have given the answer. The answer is LOC is mapped and delineated, while LAC remains undefined and subject to differing perception. Very good. You people are so good, just like a wow. Then MCQ 7. According to climate expert, Which of the following are direct effects of global warming on Punjab's rainfall patterns? Unusually warm Arabian Sea bringing more moisture, inconsistent and extreme monsoon rains, increase in winter rainfall in Punjab, sudden flash floods due to higher intensity rainfall. Do option elimination. So Mamta, Madhubala, they have given the answer. I have just told you. Direct effects of global warming on Punjab rainfall patterns. Winter rainfall, no. We are talking about summer floods. Increase in winter rainfall is like, this is not the reason. This is not the effect of global warming on Punjab rainfall patterns. The effect of global warming on Punjab rainfall pattern is floods in the summer period. And we don't know about winter rainfall, whether it has increased or not. Floods are happening. This is the summer season, monsoon season, which is going on. So if you eliminate third option, you're left with A and B. You have to check for the fourth option, sudden flash floods due to higher intensity rainfall. Yes. So these are some effects. Rainfall is happening anywhere and a burst of rainfall is happening that I encountered in Himachal as well. So the answer is B, as stated by Mamta. Madhubala also tried it, Shipurna also tried it, Rishi also tried it, Jivan also gave the correct answer, and Anandu. Are people understanding why D is not the answer? According to this article, what are the direct effects? Have we talked about winter rainfall anywhere? Is it winter going on right now? Do we know whether the increase in winter rainfall happened or not? Have we ever talked about it in this article? That increase in winter rainfall has happened. This is all about summer and monsoon, and that's what we are discussing here. We don't know the impact. Not yet. We don't know the impact of global warming on winter rainfall. It may have increased, it may have not, but we don't know it. We have not talked about it. Hope you understood. Right. But again, a tricky question, and hope you understood where we are going with this. Next article, page number 12. India and Bangladesh hold talks on water sharing. Again, this is important here. They are talking about Ganga Water Agreement. Ganga Water Agreement. So, Ganga Water Agreement, which particular year? 1996. It was operational for 30 years. So, now that 30 years is going to end next year, 2026, right? And that's what they're talking. It's about water sharing. Water sharing is anyway a very, very important and tricky issue. And 14 cross-border rivers, they are talking about it. And this whole Ganga Water Agreement happened during the first election of Sheikh Hasina government. So again, Sheikh Hasina, we know what is happening to her. And now they are talking. India-Bangladesh relationship is not very good. So, and the talk is about extending it for more than 30 years. Earlier, this agreement was for 30 years. They wanted to increase beyond 30 years. This Ganga Water Agreement is mainly about water sharing on related to Farakka Barrage. Farakka Barrage. This is not about Teesta River per se. Teesta is a different matter altogether. We'll have a discussion on that later on. So Ganga Water Agreement, what are the things which are important? 30 years. When, like, it was applicable for how many years? Nine. And when was it signed? Who was the leader of Bangladesh at that particular point of time? So these are some keywords which we have to keep in mind. So India Bangladesh Joint River Commission will meet for this particular Ganga Water Agreement and its renewal rather. Oh my God. And they want it to be renewed for more than 30 years. Cool. When it happened? During the first election of Sheikh Hasina government. So again, these are some factual information which we have to keep in mind. We don't have to do too much PhD here. Treaty background, signed in 96, validity 30 years, we have discussed this, and now Bangladesh wants longer validity. What are the different rivers? Again, you don't have to do PhD here. Muhuri, Kovi, Gomti, Dharla, Dudhkumar. Here, Bangladesh means Brahmaputra is not involved. It is not about Teesta. These are the points which you have to keep in mind. And so again, Bangladesh wants India supporting flood forecasting. We are not reading all these points. I'm just telling you from pre-perspective, this is important. We'll have a detailed discussion from May's perspective about India-Bangladesh relationship and its different dimensions, pestle analysis, which we keep on talking about, political, economic, social, technological, anthropological, legal later on. Right now, for pre-perspective, just remember what is Ganga Water Treaty, what is the validity, and who was the Prime Minister, etc., etc. Solve this particular question. Duration of original Ganga water treaty is what? 25 years, 30 years, 50 years, indefinite. So GY and Rishi, they have given the answer, and the answer is duration of original Ganga water treaty is 30 years, right? Cool. Factual question, MCQ 9. Consider the following statement regarding Ganga water treaty. Now, when you're reading Ganga water treaty, at the same time, do revise about Indus water treaty as well. Very good, Jivayan, Anandu, Shipurna, Rishi. So it was signed during Sheikh Hasina's first term as, again, use option elimination. First time as Bangladesh Prime Minister, and it provides for equitable water sharing only during rainy season. A joint committee was established to monitor its implementation. Very good, Mamta. So yes, sir, let's focus here. It was signed during Sheikh Hasina's first term as Bangladesh Prime Minister. That is correct. So if one is correct, you're left with what? A and D provides for equitable water sharing only during rainy season. Again, we don't even need to check for second. Only during rainy season, what will happen during monsoon and I'm saying summer and winter season? Where will they get the water from? So second is wrong, anyway wrong. A joint committee was established to monitor its implementation. That is correct. D is the answer, 1 and 3. And now if you go back, you will see this, a joint committee thing. And where will you see this? Let me show you this. So again, India Bangladesh Joint River Commission will meet, and this that's what they are saying. Joint Water Commission it was established, which will determine how much water of which like particular river will go to which particular country. So again, important thing. This news will evolve. This news will keep on happening. We'll talk about Tista River also. UPSC has already asked questions on Tista River. Via the evolving news which will come out of this particular treaty, will solve some MCQ means PYQs on Tista River as well. Next article of the day, no only rainy season. I've just explained the third option, Mamta. So there is a joint water commission who will determine how much water will go from which river to which particular country. Because who will decide? You have to establish something. So joint committee was established. And yeah. So now next article of the day, which is about Arunachal Pradesh, and they will host a sunrise festival in December. So there is a place in Arunachal which is known as Dong. Dong is in Anjao district. They received the first sunrise of the like in India. They received sunrise for the like they are the one who received the earliest sunrise. This is Dong. It is also bordering Tibet. Do remember it's bordering Tibet. You may see in Myanmar here, but it's bordering Tibet or China. So Dong, Anjao district, first sunrise. UPSC has already asked PYQs on Arunachal earlier, easternmost and westernmost states, but that was easy question. But again, this is an interesting question. So sunrise festival in India, Arunachal is known as land of rising sun. Which country in world is known as land of rising sun? Anybody has any idea? Which country in the world is known as land of rising sun? Chipandis. So again, let's have a look at this and what are the things which are important from exam perspective. This is art and culture part. This is current affairs part from art and culture perspective. Dong village, Anjao district, easternmost tip of India. We have just seen it borders Tibet. They can give you this. The Dong village is in some other district or it is bordering Myanmar, it is bordering Tibet. So do remember this. First place in India to receive sunrise. We have just discussed. Anandu keeps on talking about how everything first is so important. Your first crush, your first kiss, first romance, So Dong is the first place. It will means inaugurate sunrise festival. As many of you are saying, land of rising sun is Japan. Very good, Anandu, Madhubala, Shripanna, Jivayan. So here in India, Arunachal is land of rising sun. This festival will happen in December, January. Pema Khandu, who is one of the richest CMs in our country. Why he is the richest CM in one of the poorest states of our country? Arunachal is not that poor, but I have been to Arunachal, but he's one of the richest CM. You have to find out. We know it's all by honest means only, but please find out how he became one of the richest CM. Maybe some family heritage or something. Okay, let's focus here. So symbolism promoted as part of Arunachal's identity as land of rising sun. So you can see here how many pre-related facts are there. Which is the first place in India to receive sunrise? Which state in India is known as land of rising sun? Where is Dong located? Which country in the world is known as land of rising sun? So that's why this article is important. Very good. Now let's focus on this MCQ. Which of the following statements about Dong village in Arunachal Pradesh are correct? It is the first place in India to receive sunrise every day. It is located in Tawang district. It shares a border with Tibet. Very good, Jeevayana. Good morning, Shubham. Shubham, every day we are meeting at 7:30 a.m. now, so keep that in mind. So, Tonged. Arishi has given the answer, Madhubala has given the answer, Shiparna, Jivayan, Anandu, Mamta. It is the first place in India to receive sunrise every day. That is correct. So, first is correct. Every option has first. It is located in Tawang district. No, it is not located in Tawang district. Second is wrong. If you go back, see that. Where is it located? Not Tawang. This is Dong. This is Tawang. We're talking about Tawang for the second time today. Tawang, wanted by China, part of South Tibet according to China. So this Dong is in Anjao district, not Tawang. So very, very far away from each other. Many people don't know Arunachal is the biggest northeastern state. They're like Assam is the biggest, Assam is the biggest. No, the biggest northeastern state of India is Arunachal. Keep it in mind, many people make mistakes there. So where were we? So yes, sir. Second is wrong. Now you're left with A and C. It shares a border with Tibet, as we have just discussed. Yes, it does. Anjao district. Why so early, sir? 7:30. Because you should eat frog first thing in the morning. Eat frog. I want to do it at 7 a.m., but I'm not yet ready for it. Eat frog first thing in the morning. So yes, from now onward, 7:30. The earlier we do it, the better it is. So yes, sir. So second is wrong, and the answer is C, 1 and 3 only, as stated by Jivayan, Anandu, Mamta, Rishi, and others. C is the answer. Very good. MCQ 11. Consider the following statements regarding Arunachal Pradesh. Nana, sooner, Mamta, very soon we'll be doing it at 7 a.m. Hopefully, let's see when we are doing it at 7 a.m. So yes, sir. Consider the following. UPSC has already asked PYQ on Arunachal Pradesh. Solve that UPSC PYQ. This is your homework. It is the easternmost state of India. It shares a border with Myanmar and Tibet. And Dong village in Arunachal is famous for receiving the first rays of the sun in India. So again, question number 11. Think about it, solve it, we'll discuss it tomorrow. MCQ 12. Which of the following best explains the term outward FDI? What is outward FDI? This we have discussed in the first article of today. First article. What is outward FDI? Very good, Shipurna, Rishi Shipurna, Madhubala, Jiva, and Shubham. I don't know the answer of MCQ 11. We'll discuss it tomorrow. Or maybe I do, but still we'll discuss it tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. So what is outward FDI? Divine has given the answer. Think about it. We'll discuss it again tomorrow. So 11 and 12, they are homework for you. In the meantime, like, share, and subscribe. Spread the word. I'm dependent on your word of mouth. I don't have enough money to do, promotion and this and that. So I'm totally dependent on you people. You will do the word of mouth for me. You can, have these Hindu analysis PDF at 199 per month. That will be your way of supporting me. And again, I have just from, like, yesterday onwards, I have started these doubt session. So even if you're preparing for currently for IB, ACIO, I'm getting lots of queries regarding that, and EPFO. So whatever doubts you have collected, collect your doubts, any doubts you can see, anything related to UPSC CSE, and why UPSC CSE, anything related to anything. Send me doubts. We'll have a session, and we'll schedule a session based on both of our convenience whenever we are free. But again, collect as many doubts at least for 1 hour, because you will be paying for it. This is a paid initiative, 500 per hour. But again, if you're a part of mentorship program, all these things are free. You will have unlimited doubt sessions. You will have unlimited Hindu analysis PDF. And we have just done the maths. If you take 10 doubt sessions, after that, everything will be free under mentorship program, which is priced at 4,999. So it's a good thing if you enroll in that. So everything will be muft, as Karina Kapoor is saying, which we have just discussed. Mentorship program in one line is, I'm all yours, and you can ask me or message me anytime. In the meantime, if you want to switch from, let's say, Hindu analysis PDF subscription to mentorship, you just have to pay the remaining amount. If you have paid, let's say, 400, you will have to pay the remaining 4,600 or whatever is the remaining amount. That's how you do the switching part, because many people were asking me that as well. Again, you can also donate. So that's it from me, sir and ma'am, and I will see you people tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. and take care, be blessed. Bye bye.